What do you do if your baby has diarrhea? So first, I like to define what is the difference between diarrhea and normal baby stool. So newborn babies have very watery stool, particularly if they're breastfed. We like to make the analogy that stool of breastfed babies is like a watery Dijon mustard. So I don't mean to be graphic, but a breastfed baby might even have a bowel movement with every single feed, and it comes out explosive and quite watery, and within a few days it'll start to thicken up. Formula-fed babies have a little bit thicker stools. They might be a little bit more pasty or even solid by the first few months. So that's just quick. That breastfed baby's stool is not diarrhea. Diarrhea is when the stool is explosive and it shoots out and it's mostly water with a little bit of stool substance in it. So what do you do when your baby has diarrhea? First thing you should do, you should definitely call your doctor if your baby has diarrhea, especially if it's a first episode. Diarrhea is usually infectious in origin. Most of the time it is caused by viruses, and we don't really check to see what virus is because it's so common. If your baby has bloody diarrhea or there's excessive mucus in the diarrhea, then you should let your doctor know, because that might be a sign of a bacterial or more serious infection. Another cause of bloody stool in babies, particularly, could be diarrhea, could be a cow's milk allergy, a cow's milk protein allergy, and that would be another reason to call your doctor. But of course, if you see blood in your baby's stool, you'll be calling your pediatrician anyway. If your baby just has diarrhea and is not vomiting, it is easier to treat, let's put it that way. Some medical studies say that you can actually feed through the diarrhea, that as long as your baby's not vomiting, you can continue nursing or you can continue giving infant formula. However, there is a lot of lactose in milk. So actually breast milk has more lactose than formula, which people usually don't know unless your baby's on a soy formula or a lactose-free formula. So the lactose sugar can make the diarrhea worse. Doctors recommend that you give your baby replacement fluids at home. So you don't need to run to the emergency room to get IV fluids if your baby's not vomiting, because your baby's able to take in fluids. So we recommend oral rehydration fluid. One common brand is called Pedialyte, but there are other brands on the market that you can choose. They're offered in most pharmacies and baby stores. Instead of giving your baby milk at that next feed, you can give the baby this rehydration fluid. We usually recommend starting with small amounts because you don't want your baby to vomit, 2 to 3 ounces every 2 to 3 hours. You want to ensure that your baby has good hydration, that your baby's making tears, urine, and has moist mucous membranes. When you look in their mouth, that their lips aren't dry or cracking, those would be signs of dehydration and a reason to call your doctor. If your baby is really hungry and wants to eat, and if your baby's already eating solids, you can give something called a BRAT diet, B-R-A-T. So it's bananas, rice, applesauce, tea, toast. Those are the simple things. Those are things that usually babies can tolerate, keep down. The bananas are nice because they help bind the stool and make a more firm stool. And the rice is good because it's starchy. One of the old family remedies is that you save the water that you boil the rice in, and you actually use that water. You put it in a baby bottle, and you could add a little bit of sugar to make it a little bit more tasty, and have your baby drink that. And that's a really starchy liquid that will help make more formed stools. And I also recommend that when a baby has diarrhea to give a probiotic. You can ask your doctor for several recommendations. There's many on the market for infants, and that helps to rebuild the baby's natural flora in the gut that had been killed by that virus, and it also helps to improve the sensitivity to the lactose.